Hi, my name is Brianna. I'm going to be talking about the Kowalski versus Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital case. Social problems related to the case. This case touches on social problems of child abuse and mental health. Child abuse is defined as physical or mental injury, sexual abuse, negligent treatment, or maltreatment of a child under the age of 18 by a person who is responsible for the child's welfare. The trauma of child abuse causes children to lose their sense of safety and trust in the world and harms their relationships. Left untreated, the trauma of child abuse can lead to things like mental health problems like depression, anxiety, and PTSD. It can also result in behavioral changes like substance abuse disorders, risky sexual behavior, or increased risk of violence against oneself and others. It can also lead to physical health problems like infections, injuries, or even heart disease or diabetes later in life. In 2022, 434,000 perpetrators abused or neglected a child. 76% of children were victimized by a parent or legal guardian. Nationally, neglect is the most common form of abuse. 74% of children who are victims of abuse are neglected, 17% are physically abused, 11% are sexually abused, and 0.2% are sex trafficked. And that information comes from the Children Advocacy Centers. In 2020, South Dakota recorded 14,131 referrals for child abuse and neglect, with 2,449 cases investigated. There were 1,570 child victims, a rate of 7.2 per 1,000 children, marking a 26% increase since 2016. Most victims, about 79%, were abused by parents, while 52% were female and 48% were male. The largest victim age group was children under 1 year, with 254 cases reported. Types of maltreatment included neglect, physical abuse, and medical neglect, with a notable increase in child fatalities from 9 in 2019 to 12 in 2020. South Dakota reported 1 case of child sex trafficking and provided post-response services to 851 victims. Mental health is a state of well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn and work well, and contribute to their community. Risk factors can emerge at any stage of life. Risk factors can include social and environmental factors like poverty, violence, inequality, environmental deprivation, or other factors like emotional skills, substance use, and genetics. There are some protective factors that help people maintain positive mental health. Protective factors include things like social and emotional skills, positive social interactions, access to quality education, decent work, safe neighborhoods, and strong community ties. Though there is a lot of societal stigma with mental health. And stigma is a discrediting label that can negatively affect an individual's self-concept and disqualify that person from full social acceptance. Prevention of child abuse includes expansion of child care services and efforts to ban corporal punishment. There are some countries out in the world that have banned corporal punishment against children. It is still legal in the United States for parents to employ corporal punishment against their children as long as it's not deemed child abuse. Solutions to mental health include increased access to mental health services, improving insurance coverage for mental health, and there are efforts to reduce stigma. Some efforts to reduce stigma include making mental health services available to college students on campus. In October of 2016, Maya Kowalski was admitted to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, for abdominal pain related to her CRPS, or Complex Regional Pain Syndrome. Complex regional pain syndrome is characterized by continuous burning pain that is intense, extreme skin sensitivity, and significant changes to the affected limb. These changes can include changes in skin color, skin texture, swelling, joint swelling, muscle spasms, tremors, and weakness. Maya was diagnosed with CRPS in 2015 by a team of experts. Maya had also been treated with high-dose ketamine infusions at the recommendations of her doctors previously. Her mother, Beata Kowalski, insisted that medical staff at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital to treat Maya's pain with high-dose ketamine. Her recommendations led hospital staff to become suspicious of Maya's case. Suspicious hospital staff unfamiliar with Maya filed a case with Florida Department of Children and Families, leading to her removal from her parents' custody and sheltering at JHACH. She was kept separate from her family for 87 days, during which her condition worsened and she suffered immense pain. She endured CRPS flare-ups without the proper treatment, since hospital staff did not believe she was in as much pain as she was in. Beata, her mother, was accused of having Munchausen's by proxy, a mental health disorder. Munchausen's by proxy is a mental illness and form of child abuse in which a caregiver, usually a parent, fabricates or induces an illness in a child to gain attention and sympathy. If suspected, it is important to ensure the child's safety first. This usually entails CPS involvement, since this is a form of medical child abuse. Diagnosis includes review of the child's medical history and observation of the child's symptoms while the accused parent is away. Most of the time, the child's symptoms will improve when they are away from the accused parent. Treatment includes addressing the accused parent's mental health. This separation and the false accusations were critical to Beata's mental health, leading her to commit suicide in January of 2017. Maya was released to her father approximately 1 week later. The Kowalski family filed suit against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital initially in 2018. It reached trial in 2023. A case was able to be made based on the family's experience and Beata's meticulous documentation of Maya's condition and her hospitalization. After a 2-month-long trial, a jury of 6 ruled in favor of the Kowalski family. They were awarded $261 million as well as an additional $50 million in punitive damages. The lawsuit included distinct legal claims of medical malpractice, battery, false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and wrongful death. It is considered a landmark case establishing several important precedents and practice considerations, including institutional liability expansion, standard of care clarification, rare disease validation, expert witness importance, and settlement risk assessment. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital filed an appeal in August of 2024. The hospital stands behind that its employees reported suspected child abuse in good faith, as they were required by law to do. A documentary titled Take Care of Maya was released to Netflix in 2023, detailing Maya's journey through this ordeal. It was directed by Henry Roosevelt. This is a tragic case showing how false accusations of child abuse can have negative effects on a family. And now I have a few questions for you. Did the hospital take it too far? Should there be changes made to mandatory reporting laws? Thanks.